Starting to focus in on the breath, on the inhales and the exhales. Noticing as the breath moves in through the nose, down the throat, the chest, into the belly. As it reverses from the belly, chest, throat, and out through the nose. And keeping this breath going, knowing that we can always come back to at any point in time. Taking any rest, any modifications as needed. And maybe we set an intention for today's class. It might be something you're specifically working on. Or maybe you need a little inspiration. So we're still celebrating the summer solstice. So maybe it's something bright, something light, something fiery that you bring to your practice today. Or maybe just having that idea of starting over, just like the sun, each day that begins again with new possibility, new inspiration, new life. Releasing your intention, whatever way feels most natural. Go ahead and start that playlist if you're wanting to follow along with that one. We're going to inhale those arms up overhead, reaching up high. Exhale, right hand is coming down as that left arm reaches up and over, keeping that left sit bone down. Nice big inhales and exhales. Feeling that space being created, that length from the left fingers all the way down to the left side. Inhale, reach both of those arms up overhead. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up and over. Again, feeling that length now on that whole right side. Nice big inhales and exhales. Next breath, reaching up high. Keeping those sit bones down. See if you can reach a little higher. Exhale on over those legs. Staying up on those fingertips so you can find a curve in the spine and the top part of the spine. Keeping those sit bones down. They're going to like to rise. Feeling that breath move through the body. Feeling as with each breath you can begin again. Walk those hands on over towards the right, framing that right knee. Come back to center. Walking those hands on over towards the left, framing that left knee. Coming back to center. Inhale, lifting that torso back up. We're going to find opposite legs. So the leg that doesn't feel as comfortable is coming in front. Spine is nice and long. I want you to reach those arms up high. Exhale, right hand is coming down onto that left knee. Left hand is coming behind you for a little twist. Keep that spine nice and long. Soft gaze, maybe even over that left shoulder if that feels right. But feeling here as the spine twists a bit as you warm it up. Next breath, reach up high. Exhale, left hand onto that right knee, right hand behind you for a twist on this opposite side. Again, if it feels right for that small little peek over that right shoulder, please do so. Next breath, reach up high. Exhale on over those legs once more. Feeling the second time around as you fold over, if you're able to maybe make a little bit more space, as you feel maybe the body warming up a bit, as it slowly starts to wake up. Let's walk those hands back towards the body. We're going to swing those legs around, making our way into our tabletop. So those hands are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spine is nice and long. Breathe. Feeling those inhales and those exhales still going through the body. We're going to find our little cat-cow flow. So letting that heart shine forward, tailbone go up. Big old U in the back. And then push that ground away, curving the spine. Feel it really stretching up the shoulders here as you push that ground away. Continue at your breath pace, moving through your cat-cow. Maybe you find some additional movement side to side, kind of swaying that back. Good, we're just waking up the body, getting it used to movement. And if you want to change things up a little bit too, maybe you change that hand position. So those hands, the fingers might be reaching out to the sides instead as you continue this cat-cow. Or maybe you have those fingertips reaching towards you. This really intensify things. And you get that stretch right where that carpal tunnel muscle likes to end up taking place in. Be careful too, right? Just move at your edge. Don't push it. Maybe you just experiment a little bit today. All right, let's even ourselves out. Back into that neutral tabletop. Tuck those toes under. Lift those hips up towards the sky. Downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Find some movement here. Again, stretching that whole backside of the body. Maybe both of those knees bend. Maybe it's one at a time. Feeling as that belly tries making its way towards the top of the legs. Shaking the head yes, shaking it no. And then starting to find that stillness, settling in. Let the toes touch. Left foot stays grounded as that right leg reaches up for the sky. Bend that knee, stack those hips. So that left heel is reaching for the bum, that right knee is reaching for the sky, and those shoulders are straight on. Breathe. All right, into our three-legged dog. So shifting those hips, that right leg is extended out nice and long. Let's let that foot come in between those hands, low runner's lunge. Left knee drops on down, untuck those toes. Let's inhale those arms on up. Right hand is going to fall down over towards the right side of the body. Left arm is reaching up and over. Exhale that left elbow towards that right knee. Right hand will come to meet. So we're in a twist here. And breathe. All right. Next breath, we're opening out. So it's like we're in a grounded warrior two. So those arms are going out to the side, nice and long. If that left knee wants to stay facing the same way as that right knee, that's fine. If you like for it to kind of tuck in, facing the long side of the mat, do so. But those arms are long, right knee is bent. Having that upper torso just like warrior two, but we're grounded here. Flip that right palm up towards the sky. Let's exhale. So that left hand comes onto that left leg. Right arm is reaching up and over. With our next breath, we'll bring that right hand down towards the earth. Left hand is reaching up high. Breathing into this right hip now. Nice big inhales and exhales. Let's exhale that left hand on down. Adjust the knee if need be. So the knee is facing the same way as that right one. Frame that foot for just a second. Let the hips go on back as those right toes go up towards the sky. You're dragging that right heel on back. If you need pillows or blocks to kind of keep you up a little higher rather than sitting down on that left foot, do so. If you're wanting to intensify this a little bit more, maybe you walk those hands on over towards the right side, feeling that stretch under the whole right leg here. Breathe. If you took that twist, come back to center. Frame that right foot once more. Let's come back into that right foot. Tuck the back toes under. Lift that back leg. Right foot steps back to meet the left. High plank. Let those hips go up towards the sky. Downward facing dog. Breathe. Nice big inhales and exhales. Right foot stays planted. The left leg rises. Reach it up high. Bend that left knee. Again, that heel is reaching for the bum as that left knee reaches up for the sky. Those shoulders stay straight on. Breathe. Let's reach a little higher. Shift those hips. Three-legged dog. That foot is coming in between those hands with that next breath. Low runner's lunge, just to find that stability. Right knee comes on down. Untuck those toes. Let's inhale those arms on up. Feeling that heart shine forward. Find that space between the ears and the shoulders. Left hand down as that right arm reaches over. All right, we find that twist, bending that right elbow, hooking outside of that left knee, left hand coming to meet it. Prayer hands. Kind of intensifying this twist a little bit more. You might even feel it on that left outer band of the bum. Nice big inhales and exhales. Keep connected with that breath. All right, we're opening up into that grounded warrior two. So keeping that left knee bent, arms are nice and wide. Again, if it feels better for the knees to be facing the same way, keep them the same way. If not, open up that right knee to the long side of the mat. Those arms are nice and open, nice and long. Breathe. Bring that gaze over those left fingers. Flip that left palm up towards the sky. Exhale it. Right hand coming down onto that right leg. Left arm reaching high. Next breath, we find that side angle or extended side angle. That left hand comes down next to that left foot, right hand reaching up high. Breathing into those tight spaces on that left hip. And it's okay also if you're up on those fingertips, maybe over time you're able to settle into that whole palm of the hand. But breathe. Nice big inhales and exhales. Feeling that breath move through the body. As the heart shines open. All right, exhale, let that right hand come on down. We're bringing that right knee to face the same way as that left knee. Frame that foot, tuck the back toes under, lift that back leg, stepping that left foot back to meet the right, high plank. Breathe. Let those hips go up towards the sky, downward facing dog. We're bending those knees. Step, jump, hop, top of the mat. Come up halfway. Exhale over. Left hand is going to stay planted down, or maybe up on those fingertips. Bend that left knee for me as that right arm reaches up high. If you like to bend that right arm behind the back for a little half bind, do so. You're keeping that right shoulder still up towards the sky though. Release that half bind, so reach up high. Exhale, let that right hand come down to replace that left. We're bending that right knee, left leg is mostly straight. Reach that left hand up high. Again, if you want that half bind, letting that left arm tuck behind the back. Left shoulder still pointing up towards the sky. Keep breathing. If you took that half bind, we're releasing it. Reach up high, exhale on over. I want you to wiggle out those legs. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale over. Inhale all the way up to standing, reach up high. Exhale those hands down to heart center. Inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive on over. We're coming up halfway. Plant the hands, right foot steps back. Letting that right knee tap down, untuck those toes, inhale those arms on up. So kind of like how we began that practice, but we're doing our sun sal C. Because of course we need sun salutations for summer solstice, right? Exhale those hands on down, framing that foot, tuck the back toes under, lift that back leg. Left foot steps back to meet the right. So we have different options here. So, whoops, sorry about that. So you can either do high to low chaturanga, or if not, you can follow me. So the knees will come down, shift that weight forward to let the chin and chest come down. That tailbone is up towards the sky like a little inchworm. Inhale that heart open, untuck those toes, you're nice and long here. And then as you exhale, you're pushing that ground away with the hands, tucking those toes under, lifting on up, downward facing dog once more. Breathe. Letting that right leg rise. Stepping that foot in between those hands, low runner's lunge. Left knee taps down, untuck those toes, inhale those arms on up. And each time you might find a little bit more space, a little bit more warmth, so you're able to get a little deeper into the pose. Maybe you explore that. Exhale those hands on down, framing that foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift that back leg. Left foot steps up to meet the right, folding on over those legs. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, folding over. Inhale all the way up to standing, reaching up high. Exhale those hands down to heart center. Inhale those arms up over. Exhale, swan dive back down. Come up halfway. Plant those hands. This time the left foot is stepping back. Left knee taps on down, untuck those toes. Inhale those arms on up. Breathe. Exhale those hands on down, framing that foot. We're tucking the back toes under, lifting that back leg. Right foot steps back to meet the left, high plank. Again, you can choose your flow. If even my flow doesn't work for you, the one that I'm showing, maybe it's child's pose to downward facing dog. You're gonna choose your path that works for you. So knees, chest, chin. Inhale that heart forward, untuck those toes. Notice here as my shoulders are pulling back. Push that ground away, tuck those toes under, lift those hips. Downward facing dog. Breathe. Nice big inhales and exhales. Maybe you let go with a nice exhale out of the mouth. See what you're able to make space for. Left leg rises. Let that foot come in between those hands. Low runner's lunge. Right knee taps down, untuck those toes. And because we forgot it on the other side, we're gonna do a little extra with this leg. So inhale those arms on up, reach up high. Exhale the hands on down. We're letting the hips go on back. Left toes up towards the sky. Drag that left heel for me. So maybe you stay here or you walk those hands on over towards the left side. Using the props as needed or the things that you have around your home. They might not be typical, and that's okay. All right, let's come back. If you took that twist, we're coming back into that left foot. Let's tuck those toes under, lift that back leg. Right foot steps up to meet the left, top of the mat. Folding on over those legs. Come up halfway, exhale over. Inhale all the way up to standing, reaching up high. Exhale those hands down to heart center. We're gonna do that once more, that sun C. So inhale those arms on up. Exhale, swan dive on down. Inhale, come up halfway. Planting those hands. Right foot steps on back. Let that right knee touch down. Untuck those toes. Inhale those arms on up. We're moving a little quicker. Exhale those hands on down. Framing that foot. Tuck those back toes under. Lift that back leg. Left foot steps back to meet the right. Go through your flow. Meeting in our downward facing dog. Right foot rises. Let that foot come in between those hands. Low runner's lunge. Left knee taps down, untucks those toes. Inhale those arms on up. Exhale those hands on down. Frame that foot. Tuck the back toes under. Lift that back leg. Step that left foot up to meet the right. Folding on over those legs. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, relax over. Inhale all the way up to standing, reaching up high. Exhale those hands down to heart center. Inhale those arms on up. Exhale, swan dive back down. Inhale, come up halfway. Plant the hands. Left foot steps back. Let that left knee drop down. Untuck those toes. Inhale those arms on up. Exhale those hands on down. Frame that foot. Tuck the back toes under. Lift that back leg. Right foot steps back to meet the left. Go through your flow. Meeting in our downward facing dog. Left leg rises. Step that foot in between those hands, low runner's lunge. Right knee drops down, untuck the toes. Inhale those arms on up. Exhale those hands on down. Frame that foot, tuck the back toes under, lift that back leg. Right foot comes up to meet the left, relaxing on over those legs. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale on over. Inhale all the way up to standing, reach up high. Exhale those hands down to heart center, and then I want you to let them fall down towards the sides, rolling those shoulders away from the ears, letting the feet become grounded with that earth underneath you. You might even close the eyes, or the eyes become heavy. Just feeling that energy move through the body, feeling that breath as it makes its way, those inhales and those exhales. Letting yourself be right here, right now, in this very moment. Next breath, let's inhale those arms on up. Exhale those hands down to heart center. We're gonna shift our weight on over towards that left leg. Left leg is nice and strong. Right foot starts becoming nice and light. Let's lift it up, pillar pose. So here in our pillar pose, I want you to let that left hand grab the outer part of that right leg, right hand reaching for the back. And if you're in a room like me where you can touch the walls, use the walls as your prop. Let them help you keep you balanced. So maybe you can intensify that stretch a little bit more so you can go a little deeper in that stretch. Breathe. If you'd like, you can grab the outer part of that left foot and extend that left leg out. Maybe you try and you're like, oop, not happening for me today, and that's okay. I want you to bend that knee once more. Just a few more breaths. If you took that bind, release it. We're gonna come to center. That right leg is wrapping around the left. So as you see, my toes kind of go almost all the way around, and that might happen, that might not. Sometimes my toes don't like going around at all, and I like having my right toes down on the ground instead. Maybe that's where you are. I still want you to feel this like twist happening on that lower body. So it's like your legs are still stacking upon each other, finding that pressure on top of each other so it can squeeze out those lymph nodes right there, okay? Let's let those arms go out nice and long. Keeping that squeezing of that lower body, maybe a little bend even in that left knee. Right arm is coming on top of the left. Those palms will touch, ideally. If not, it's okay. Just have those elbows on top of each other. Maybe even it's a hug, okay? Breathe. That spine is nice and long, crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. We're squeezing in everything, releasing all of our toxins. Very good. Next breath, let's open out nice and wide. Let's wiggle it out. That left leg just went through a whole lot there. All right, so we're gonna get ready for that opposite side. So we're shifting our weight now on over towards that right leg. Right leg is nice and strong, nice and sturdy, just like a root in a tree. Left leg starts becoming nice and light. Let's lift it up. Keeping that left foot flexed. Right hand is going to reach for the outer part of that left leg. Left arm is reaching out long. Breathe. Seeing with each breath, maybe you're able to twist a little deeper, to twist that spine just a hair more. Or if you'd like, you can find that bind. Right hand is reaching for the outer part of that left foot, extending that left leg. And again, you can always change your mind. So just like our breath, just like the sun, we can always begin again, right? All right, let's come to center. If you took that bind, release it. That left leg is crossing over that right. Again, maybe it goes all the way today. Maybe today it's not happening, and you keep those toes down on the ground, okay? Bend that right knee so you can squat it on down a little bit. Let those arms go out nice and long. Left arm on top of the right this time. And breathe. Or if it feels better to hug, have that hug. Nice big inhales and exhales. I want you to squeeze in everything to the center body. We're here for 3, for 2. Last one. Let's release it all out. Woo. Wiggle it out. All right. So we're shifting our weight back on over towards that left leg. It's nice and strong, nice and sturdy. Right heel becomes nice and light. We're stepping that right foot on back, keeping a bend in that left knee. Those hips are straight on. Let those arms reach up high in our crescent warrior. You're pushing that right heel towards the back of the room. Feeling as that heart shines forward. So you get that nice yummy stretch on that right hip. And then with our next breath, we're opening up warrior 2. So just like we did when we were grounded, we're doing the same thing standing up. So you have that bend in that left knee. That right foot is sealed at an angle. Those arms are nice and long. Nice big inhales and exhales. Let that left palm flip up towards the sky. Exhale that warrior. Right hand coming down onto that right leg. Left arm is reaching nice and long next to that left ear. Our next breath, we're letting that left hand come down. Either that forearm can come down onto that left leg, or maybe you try bringing it all the way down to the ground, just like we were when we were down lower, that right arm reaching up high, like a big side hug here, or maybe that right arm reaches out long, creating a nice long line from those right fingers all the way down to the right toes. You're gonna see what feels best for your shoulder. Breathe. Next breath, we're lifting on up. Bring that torso on up. Warrior 2. Let's straighten that left leg. A little bit of a micro bend still in there. Let that left hand reach forward. That right hip is pushing back. Make it sassy. Left hand coming down. Right arm reaching high into our triangle pose. So if you like a block underneath that left hand, please bring one there. Keeping that spine nice and long. Keeping that heart open, those shoulders stacked. Breathe. Gaze can be up towards those right fingers, or they might face down towards the ground. Wherever your shoulders, or excuse me, your neck feels more relaxed. Exhale that right hand on down. So we're gonna do something a little funny. So we're framing that left foot. I want you to come on to the ball of that right foot to lift it on up. Get a bit of a shorter stance. All 10 toes are facing the same way towards the front. Let those hands come to the hips. So you're bringing that torso on up. Hands to the hips. I want you to adjust them where they're both facing straight on. And once they feel like they're facing straight on, it's almost going to feel like that right hip is kind of squishing on in, kind of like we did in our eagle. So both of those hips straight on. Find that flat back. Flat back. Maybe you reach those arms forward to align with the hips. And then exhale on over, relaxing on over that left leg. So again, we're doing a lot of the same motions, a lot of the same shapes that we did while we were down lower on our knees, but we're doing them up higher. Noticing the differences here and how different muscles are being used Different muscles are being stretched. All right, let's bend that left knee. So you bring that weight a little bit forward to bend that left knee, right foot coming up to meet the left. Wiggle it out. Come up halfway. Exhale over. Inhale all the way up to standing. Reach up high. Hands will come down to heart center. All right, we're doing that on the opposite side. So right leg is nice and sturdy now. Left leg starts becoming nice and light. Let's step that left foot back. Bend in that right knee. On the balls of the left toes. Inhale those arms on up, crescent warrior. So sometimes we like to grip on our mat with our toes to kind of find that balance. I want you to find that ease in those right toes. Not gripping down, pushing that left heel towards the back of the room. Breathe. Next breath, we open out into our warrior two. So bend in that right knee, sealing that left foot down at an angle, letting those arms become nice and long. Breathe here. Nice big inhales and exhales. Soft gaze over those right fingers. Noticing the engagement of that right leg. So we're pulling in here, but we're also shining out at the same time. So a lot happening in the body. Flip that right palm up towards the sky. Let's exhale. Left hand coming down onto that left leg. Right arm is reaching up and over. Next breath, we find that side angle. Right arm either onto that right leg, or maybe it comes all the way down, just like we were before in the beginning of our practice. That left arm is reaching up high, or if it feels better to reach out long, please do so. But breathing into the tight spaces we might still be holding onto in that right hip. Noticing what we're able to let go with each exhale. Just a few more breaths. All right, so now like if somebody's lifting us up with that left hand, we lift back up. Warrior two. Straightening that right leg, little bit of a micro bend still in there. Let that right hand reach forward, left hip is pushing back, make it sassy. Right hand coming down as that left hand comes up. Feeling that spine nice and long, those shoulders stacking upon each other. As we're opening everything up here. And just like in our warrior two, we're still pulling in. So those legs are pulling in towards the center body as we're shining out. Notice how this pulling in and shining out kind of changes the game of things. Keeps you a little bit more engaged, a little bit more stable. Exhale that left hand on down. Bend that right knee to bring that weight a little bit forward. The left toes become nice and light. I want you to adjust them. Railroad tracks, all 10 toes are facing the front. Let's lift that torso on up. Hands on the hips. Adjust them. And then let that spine become nice and long. Start melting on over that right leg. And again, maybe blocks are needed or whatever you have around that can kind of create a little bit of height. Right, the sky's the limit. Sometimes you can use pillows, cans, water jugs, whatever you have around the house. Nice big inhales and exhales. Feeling that stretch, that release behind that right leg and behind that left leg. Connecting with that breath. All right, next breath. We're gonna bend that right knee to let that left foot come up to meet the right. Let's wiggle it out. Come up halfway, exhale on over. Inhale all the way up to standing, reach up high. Exhale those hands down to heart center. Let's heel toe the feet open, about hip distance apart, toes are facing out. And we're making our way down into our yogi squat. So if this yogi squat's a little too much on the knees, again, you can use a blanket, you can use a pillow to kind of create that little cushion to help alleviate the knees a bit. But we're pushing those arms into the legs into the arms. That spine stays nice and straight, nice and long, reaching up high. Breathe. Because we've been twisting, let's find another twist. So that left hand comes down onto the ground somewhere kind of next to that left foot, a little out. Right arm is reaching out long. Side hug here. Next breath, come back to center. We're going to find that side hug on the opposite side. Right hand coming on down, up on those fingertips. Left arm reaching out high. Exhale it back to center. All right, let's come down onto our bum. Left leg is going to reach out long. Right foot is tucking in. So we're in our seated tree here. Turn that torso on over towards that left leg. Those left toes are flexed. Let's inhale those arms up high. Exhale on over. Maybe you touch the toes. Maybe you're not even close to the toes, and that's okay. Wherever you are, no matter where the hands are, I want you to feel as that back kind of releases here, as you let gravity kind of hold you or bring you down towards that left leg. Just feeling that release on that whole back side, maybe on that right back side of the body. Two more breaths. Bring it back up. We're going to extend that right leg out nice and long. Tuck that left foot in to that inner part of that right thigh. Turn that torso on over towards that right flexed foot. Again, letting that spine be nice and long. Reach those arms up high. Exhale, fold on over. We're noticing the difference on the sides. One side you might be able to relax a little deeper versus the other, and that's okay. Each side's a little different. But it gives us room to work on something. It gives us room to learn something about the body. Two more breaths here. Making our way back up. We're gonna let the soles of the feet touch. Knees are out in our butterfly pose. So the knees might be really up high. They might be a little low. Wherever they are, any in between is perfectly fine. I want you to keep that spine nice and long. We're grabbing that like kind of right underneath the ball of that foot and just grabbing so we can let that spine be nice and long. Nice big inhale, nice big exhale. And then if you'd like, maybe you fold on over those legs. Those hands might reach forward. Or if the folding over isn't happening, that's okay. You're still holding onto the feet, and maybe you find that cat back. So you're letting that spine round, right? So you can find that same release we're doing as when we fold over. Just a little different part of the spine, but you're still feeling that release. Few more breaths here. Next breath, we lift on up. Let that spine become nice and long once more. Let those hands come underneath the knees, guiding those knees up towards the sky. Soles of the feet are planting down. Let those hands come behind you, those fingers facing the same way as your toes. And we're just going to windshield wiper those legs. So there might be a little bit more space between the feet than originally planned, and letting the knees fall one way and then letting them fall the other way. Just continuing at your breath pace. Something I like to do sometimes too, and this might feel nice for your body, is the feet are nice and wide, right? Just like an M. McDonald's, for some reason, I'm thinking McDonald's. I had breakfast, so I don't know why I'm thinking of food. And then let those knees come in. So you're finding that rotation in the hips going this way. That might feel nice for you. If you try it, you're like, yeah, I don't really like it. Go back to those windshield wipers. Just a few more breaths, a few more movements. Even yourself out, meeting in neutral. Let that spine come back up, so you're a little bit more sturdy now. Soles of the feet are still down. That spine is nice and long. Maybe you adjust on the mat because we're making our way down. Reach those hands forward, tuck that chin in just a hair. Start making your way down onto your back, taking your time, nice and slowly, without a rush. Till eventually the shoulders touch down. And once the shoulders touch down, I want you to let those arms reach back behind you. And then with that next breath, you'll let the knees come into the chest, giving yourself a nice big hug here. We're gonna grab the outside parts of the feet, opening up those legs into our happy baby. Those knees are being guided down towards the earth. If grabbing the outside parts of the feet is not accessible, maybe you grab the outer parts of the calf, or just see what feels comfortable to help guide those knees down towards the earth, keeping those hips open. And then start maybe finding a little bit of movement side to side. Massaging that low back here. Some of you might even like to bind the big toes, extend the legs out, and you can still rock side to side if you'd like. Or see what feels nice. Sometimes even letting the legs come in close, kind of extending them up and over feels nice. Just let yourself play with these shapes, with these movements. And then eventually slowing down, embracing that stillness. Releasing the legs, the feet, the ankles, let the knees come into the chest. The arms will go out to the side, goal post or T. And we're gonna let the knees fall over towards the right as the gaze falls to the left. So if it feels nice to extend the legs out, go ahead and extend them out. They might both be extended. Maybe just the top one is extended, or you might find a different shape altogether. But noticing here as the shoulders become heavy, as the body starts finding ease, starts finding some softness, few more breaths here. Let's let that gaze come back to center. We're unwinding the legs in whatever variation we took to let them come back to center. And then we'll let the knees fall to the left side as the gaze falls to the right. Again, taking your time to find the variation that suits you, whatever it may look like. But again, noticing that softness of the body. As it's able to find ease. As it's able to embrace that stillness. Gently guiding that gaze back to center. Letting the legs make their way back to center. And then finding any final movements the body's needing or craving in order to feel the practice complete. This could be a plow. Maybe you're in a reclined butterfly, so just like we were seated with those feet touching, the legs spread out. Maybe it's another twist. Maybe they're just random shapes and movements in order to settle in. But taking these next few breaths, these next few moments, to find what your body's needing, what your body's craving, in order to fully settle, in that final pose in that Shavasana. And if you aren't already there, making your way into that final resting pose, into that Shavasana, letting the body lengthen, letting it become heavy. Noticing as it becomes heavy, the muscles are able to soften. The body is able to rest. And the heart is able to find peace. We'll be here for the next few minutes in this final resting pose. Slowly and gently, beginning to bring awareness back into the body, back into the breath. Inviting those gentle movements back into the fingers and the toes. Allowing larger movements to enter the body. Maybe taking a nice big body stretch like you just woke up and are getting ready to get out of bed. And then with that next breath, letting the knees come into the chest, giving yourself a nice big hug. We'll let ourselves softly and gently fall on over either to the right or the left side. Taking a few moments in this position of rebirth to come back to that intention that we said in the beginning of class. Or maybe coming back to the thoughts of the sun, of this summer solstice, of this new beginning. And knowing just like the sun, just like our breath, we can always begin again whenever we like. Making your way up to a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed or soft. Let's let those hands come to heart center as we bow our head in gratitude. Grateful for this day, for this breath, for this beautiful life that we're given. And we'll close our practice today with a sun intention. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Namaste.